Good evening. This is Danny Crandall coming to you once again from the Rose Drive Library in Morgan, Utah. This short video this evening is an update to the introduction to our Gospelspeak sessions, which we started back in January of this year. We've now gone through 6 months, going on our 7th month, and have enjoyed the opportunity to share gospel messages with those who participate. I just wanted to provide some information, again, some reiteration of things that we stated before, but in this introduction, just to make certain that everyone is clear. First of all, this activity is 100% nonprofit. All the time and equipment that is donated is 100% voluntary, so there is no monetary compensation at all for these Gospelspeak sessions. Again, totally nonprofit. The second point I want to make is that all comments, opinions, interpretations are strictly my view, my interpretation. Anything that I say, although I am certainly a lifelong member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, all of the statements that are made, other than reading from scriptures or other recognized sources, all of the interpretations, opinions are strictly my view. Do not represent any official position of the church or any other religious organization. So I just want to make certain that everyone understands that. Again, I tend to and always try to stay true to the scripture as much as possible. Of course, out of necessity, there are times that some interpretation or opinion needs to be stated. Again, those are strictly my own views and interpretations. I'd also like to state that the technology that we've been experimenting and using has improved over time. For those that have been with us since January, you will notice that the earlier sessions are perhaps not as clear in terms of the video and the audio. When we decided to start these sessions, I had a discussion with my good wife Nancy and talked with her about the fact, should we try and get the technology to a point of near perfection before we started. We decided that may never happen, and so the decision was made to go ahead and start the sessions, and we expected the technology would improve over time, which I believe it has. So you'll notice if you go through the sessions that after around session 5 or 6, we began to add in a prelude because it was a little awkward in some of the earlier sessions in terms of the introductory material. So we have preludes. Those videos on the preludes are either original compositions of my own or they are my versions of well-known tunes such as Peace Like a River. In that light, I also would indicate that if you go to the page, you'll see that there's a listing of the live videos, because these sessions are live every other Sunday evening starting at 8 o'clock. And we make every attempt to keep these around a half-hour time frame, keep those in that range of about 30 minutes each. Some may go over. We don't have any time police or so in that regard. So in any case, we try and keep these around 30 minutes every other Sunday evening at 8 o'clock. The next one will be next week. And that will be session number 17, Joseph in Egypt. So I think, as you'll see, the technology has improved. We've gotten some new cameras, some new equipment, new microphones in an effort to make the recordings and the presentations as good and viable as possible. There are also, as I mentioned, these pre-recorded videos. The music videos, the compositions are my original compositions or either my versions of standard well-known tunes. We also have a Gmail account, an email account. If there are comments or questions or commentary that anyone might have, please send to gospelspeak21@gmail.com. And if there are particular topics that someone may like to see that we can discuss, please let us know. What we have done this year when we started, we decided that we would just start at the beginning with Genesis, in Genesis chapter 1, and we are pursuing that study of the Old Testament. And for those that have been with us, recognize we're just now getting to the end of the book of Genesis. So if we continue at that pace, and we've had some other episodes along the way, some other sessions along the way that are not related directly to that, but you will notice that, again, it's been primarily Genesis, so we'll see how that goes. And would like to, certainly this year, we'll stay with the Old Testament and then continue on from there. Also want to indicate that in the meantime that we have gotten some of these pass-along cards, if anyone has an interest in having some of these. If you have friends or associates that you think might be interested, just go ahead and send me a note on the Gmail. Again, gospelspeak21@gmail.com. And we'd be glad to send you some of these if you might like to hand these out to some of your associates who you think may have an interest. Again, appreciate everyone's attendance and participation. We certainly enjoy presenting the gospel of Jesus Christ, and in an effort to encourage personal study, realize that 30 minutes every other week is not nearly enough time to get into the details of a lot of doctrinal content. And so we would encourage you to participate in your own personal study in that regard. Again, welcome to Gospelspeak. We enjoy your participation, and we will see you again next week on the 15th of August at 8 o'clock.